Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay, this is a response video to Alan Static Traveller. In a recent video, he showed this book, 1001 Albums You Should Hear Before You Die. And Alan's challenge to the vinyl community is to each come up with 5 albums which you think should be included in this list. Now, I think many of us will have this book or something similar. We all like lists, don't we? So this came out in 2004, and it's very much for the sort of Mojo reader, the Rolling Stone reader. It's very much rock and pop heavy. There's not too much in the way of soul or reggae in there. I'm going to correct that now. But yeah, it's still a good read. I quite enjoy this. I've actually been thinking about this book quite a bit recently because I've been listening to a podcast called 1001 Album Complaints, and it's a bunch of American guys, and each week they randomly pick one album from this list, they review it, they take the piss out of it, and then they decide whether it should, it is an album that you should hear before you die. So yeah, quite interesting, good fun, so that's worth checking out. But yeah, so I've been thinking about this book a little bit, but I picked out 5 records. So first up, a soul album. So 1973, one of the great live performances. This is Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall. And this came after his first 2 albums. And those first 2 records probably contain his most famous songs. Songs such as Lean on Me, Use Me, Ain't No Sunshine, Grandma's Hands. But what makes this album special is his personality comes across so well. It's the chat in between the songs. He's just got the audience in the palm of his hand. Yeah, and I say incredible versions of those classic songs. So that's my first choice. Yeah, there's not much soul or reggae in the list, so a little bit of reggae. This is Toots and the Maytals, Funky Kingston, 1975, I think, on Island Records. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat because this is a sort of compilation. This actually picks songs from the band's previous 3 albums and puts them together for this, I say, mid-70s release. I think this is one of the greatest reggae albums of all time. It includes stuff such as Time Tough, Funky Kingston, Pomp and Pride, Pressure Drop, and of course Pressure Drop, covered by the likes of The Clash and The Specials, incredibly influential on that whole two-tone movement. So yeah, there you go, that's my second one. Now this next choice, people may well smirk at this choice, but I'm not having any of it, So this is Alexander O'Neal with Hearsay. This came out in 1987. And the late 80s, much of R&B music from that period was really dominated by the production sound of Jam and Lewis. And I think this is their greatest moment. So albums such as Rhythm Nation and Control by Janet Jackson, now they're 2 really big records. But I think this is much better. And it's because he was a great soul singer. Alexander O'Neal had a brilliant voice. He doesn't tour anymore, I don't think. But yeah, this is definitely his masterpiece. And if you want to hear soul music from that sort of period, this is the album to go to. Right, number 4, something a little bit more recent. This is from 2005, Richard Hawley with Cole's Corner. Talking about voices, I mean, this man has got a voice, so a little bit Roy Orbison, a little bit Morrissey, just a really beautifully warm vocal style. And the songs on here, songs such as Cole's Corner and The Ocean, they sort of hark back to those 60s ballads. A beautiful record. He's never come close to this again, but I mean, I do like all his stuff, but this is absolutely the record to listen to. And I think this is one of the best records from the past 25 years. And finally, another reggae record. And this is something that I have spoken about quite a bit before. This is Bitty McLean with his album. So it's Bitty McLean and the Supersonics on Bond Street. So this came out in 2004 originally, and basically it uses original Studio One rhythms with Bitty McLean putting new melodies over the top, a new vocal, and it's a beautiful record. Again, this is absolutely the best reggae album of the last 25 years, the best reggae album from the 21st century, and that would be my 5th choice for 5 choices that of albums that you should hear before you die. So there you go. Cheers.